Oh man, I gotta figure out like where to look. Do I look there? Do I look down? What a trip. I never ever record my face, so it's like a new experience for me. It's a little scary. Okay, we're gonna get right to the point because I'll tell you why. You watch a million YouTube videos. I watch a million YouTube videos of people that give over classes on how to do things and whatever, and they never get to the point, and you turn off the video right away. So before I even make an introduction of who I am, what this is about, and why we're doing this, I'm just going to read the story. I came up with an idea last week, probably not an original idea, but came up with an idea last week. I don't know, I was walking in the street, and all of a sudden, this thought popped into my head. Just start reading Chassidic stories that you find, because I read a lot of interesting stuff that maybe isn't, mainstream or just not published, not like your typical story that you would read in the Baal Shem Tov book. They are that style, but a little bit more far out. So I just want to read some far out stories. So first of all, I get a lot of my stories from these pamphlets. These are the old Serpini Chassidus pamphlets, which I used to get every Challahs. Now they kind of disappeared from Tzfat, for me at least. But there's a story in the back over here, which I read on Parshas Bichukoisai last year. I can't in my Facebook memories because I posted it. It's such a tripped out story. All right, I'm gonna try to read it without stuttering. Okay, this story is called the Avoidas Haketoiros, the Avoida of the Ketoiros, the Avoida of the incense or smoking. So it says over here, I'm going to read it, and then you can follow along on the screen over here, actually. So it says, Hagoyin HaTzadik Rabbi Chaim Alter Panet of Carlsberg, who is the Baal Tapuche Chaim, Zecher Tzadik Levracha, the Av based in Ramat Aviv, which I think is in Tel Aviv. This is probably way back in the day, yeah. Hoya Nirgash Mo'oid Me'rega Tzeisoi Me'beisoi B'Nesia El Tzadikim. He used to feel a lot. He used to get in a really, really good mood. And the second that he left his house, whenever he used to travel to a tzaddik. In the Chassidic world, in the Chassidic teachings, there is huge things taught about traveling to the tzaddik. I myself go to Uman for Rosh Hashanah every year, and I can tell you that the journey there is nothing short of a miracle. I'm saying just all the things that happen and all the people that you meet, and it's getting ready to go to the rebba and all these different things. And I could tell you stories for hours, but that's not the point. But this guy used to get super excited whenever he would go to a tzaddik. And it says, "Ubechol haderech b'shiftoi al harakevet oy b'mechonit," and all the way that when he was sitting on a train or in the car, he would speak about diber mi'inyan hanasiyah l'tzadikim. He would talk about the inyan of traveling to the tzaddikim, or he would speak about words of Torah, nishmoi shel oisei tzadik shen noisei alav ke'es oy me avoisav. See, I'm really starting to stutter. I'm not even talking to anybody. He would talk about the inyan of traveling to tzaddikim, or he would talk about the Torah from that particular tzaddik that he was traveling to, or that tzaddik's father or his grandfather. And the journey by him was a huge avodah. It was a real part of the service of Hashem, and it was very holy. And he didn't take off his mind from it at all. Like, he would be sitting there getting ready, like, wow, I'm going to Uman, wow, I'm going to the Baal Shem Tov, wow, I'm going here. Even though he wasn't going to Uman back then, but still, that's just what I say all the time. Whenever he was with him, he would talk about, like, we're not just going on the subway now to the city, we're going to the tzaddik, and he would get very, he was mamish into it. So now starts the main story over there. It says, also, he would get very, very happy whenever he would meet other Chassidim that were traveling to the same rebbe. He always taketh hischil ledaber imam divrei Torah v'chasidus or sipurei tzaddikim v'hanhagasim. This guy is sitting next to you on the train, all of a sudden he starts talking to you about, different rebbas and everything. This guy was very into it. He was very into this whole thing, and he would see other chassidim and be like, "Oh, you're also going to the rebba? What's going on?" You know. So Pamachas, this is the part of the story over here. It says Pamachas, one time, Nasa al harakevet el harav hakodesh migor bal Beis Yisrael. I'm actually named after the Beis Yisrael. My third name is Yisrael, and I come from a line of Gor Chassidim. In Israel, they call it Gor. In America, we call it Ger. But then people get confused because they think you're talking about a convert, but really it's Ger. That's a whole other story. Anyway, the point is that this guy,
It's 6 o'clock.
Of Chaim Alter of Panet of Carlsberg, was traveling one time on the way to the Beis Yisrael on a train. I think I'm going to put in some train sound effects after. Maybe. We'll see if I could find some good ones. He says he was sitting with his deep thoughts in his head, and he was smoking so much that all around him was smoke. He was mamish puffing away. Next to him on the train was another Rav who was very chashiv in the Ger chassidus, that they didn't know who they were. They didn't know each other. Nigesh harav hazeh el hagoyin tzaddik zatzal, this tapuche chaim guy, and he said to him, "Mipnei ma hu ma'ashin kol kach harbe." Why are you smoking so much? What is going on? First of all, it'd be a mace today if you could smoke on a train, like it was back then. But that's besides the point. Imagine if we could all smoke on airplanes these days on the way to Uman. What a trip that would be. But this guy, he comes over to him. He's like, "What's your story, man? Why are you shmeching so much?" We're going now to Gor. And there they have the Inyan of the avodas haktoiros, the avodah of smoking, the avodah of incense. Ki yadua lecha sharebi ma'ashin harbe ad shenesmale kol chadre kulei asher. He says, like it's known that the Rebbe smoked so much until his whole room was full of smoke. So I guess the Beis Yisrael was a big smoker. I didn't know that. My father never told me that. Therefore, they start the tefillos by Parshat Torahs. I did not know that either. If anybody can confirm that fact. See, this is also why I'm reading these stories, because I read these things and I don't know who to ask, like if that's true. Like in Geren, do they really start the tefillah like just by Torahs? Like we're gonna go through a lot of stuff here. And then he didn't talk about it at all. And his words made a big roshim on that Rav Shahayamale his spalas him. It was very wondrous. And this guy is a chassid of the Rebbe, but his avodah also, just to get involved with the Rebbe, was also just to smoke like the Rebbe. That is very wild. So I like that story a lot. I'm going to put down the pamphlet now because we finished the story. So basically, listen, my channel is Kabbalistic Village Music. I am Kabbalistic Village. I make music for film and TV and all these other things. And but I also want to give over something else that I can give over. I'm giving some classes on making music, but also, we're Jewish. I'm Jewish, and I want to give over some pieces of Torah, some stories that I find out, some different things. So I think we're going to start uploading these types of videos. We'll see if people like them, and I want to go through these stories that I find. We'll try to upload a few videos a week, and see what we can confirm if it's true or not. I don't know half these things in the story. Who this guy is, first of all, I never heard of this Av Beistin, and I never heard of that in Gerda. I never heard that the Beis Yisrael smoked. That's probably easy to figure out, but I didn't know that they open up the tefillos with the ketores. So just for fun, I don't know, just let's read some stories, you know what I mean? I read a different story this past Shabbos also, which is very wild, from the Shinover, the Divrei Yecheskel of Shinov, who was the Divrei Chaim of Sam's son. And there was an Indian that they were talking about the Yud Beis Challahs by Chassidim or by people who follow Kabbalah and different avodas. there's an Indian to have 12 challahs by your Shabbos table, by each meal. And the Shinover was not noyig. It says he was not accustomed to take it. And then at the end of his life, he started taking challahs because they asked him why, and he said that his whole life he didn't understand why people do it. Al pi Kabbalah, like what the actual deeper reasons were. And now he knew what the reasons were, and he was able to understand it, so he took the challahs. And it says that there was a person in the Shinover's town who went crazy. He lost his mind. So the Shinover called him in, and he gave him one of his 12 challahs, and the guy was cured. But he had to hold the challah by him at all times, like in his pocket or whatever. He couldn't eat it. So one day, the Shinover said, "I need that guy with the challah back." So they called him in, and he said, "What do you want?" He said, "Give me back the roll. Give me back the challah." And he said, "But Rebbe, if I give you back the challah, I'm gonna go crazy." He's like, "Just give me." So he's like, "Just give me back the challah." So the Shinover took it, and he stuck a fork inside, and he lit a candle, and he roasted the challah like he would roast like a marshmallow on top of the candle, and he burnt it. And he went back to the guy and he said, "Now you could hold on to it over also on Pesach because it's not chametz anymore." So that's also a cool story because you think it's like some tripped out Indian, but really he's just making sure that the guy could also hold it over on Pesach without it being chametz. And he said that the segula of the challah will still be there. So I'm going to try to upload these stories. And also, if you want to ask any questions in the comments, please, let's start something big here on YouTube. YouTube is huge. There's a lot of good things in it, but we need to bring more good stuff to it. So this is what I'm trying to do. L'chaim.